Albrights acre. This is a big old fire bush I planted about 3 years ago. It's doing pretty good. This is a comparison. 3 years, it's doing awesome. I just planted this for Mother's Day. It's a dogwood. It's like a butter yellow color. The blooms are supposed to be. Seems to be doing alright. Let's continue on. This is my rose trellis. These are, what are they called? It's a crappy rose bush. They suck. I hate them. I wish they'd go away. I've tried to cut them down a bunch of times and they keep living. These are my grapes. They're doing quite well. They need to be weeded. I got blueberries. And boom! Clematis. This was for Mother's Day too. Look at that. It's doing real good. This is another blueberry bush right here. This is Doc. Ugh, they can go away. And then I have this apple tree right here. That's the base of it. This apple tree right here has 5 different kinds of apples that grow on it. I'm getting some coming. They look a little spotty, but we'll see what the actual turnout is. I planted that a couple years ago. These are all blackberries. Usually gets big fat ones. This is all the dead cut off from last year. And obviously there's new growth coming in like crazy. And then right here, this big old tree right here, the whole thing is a mulberry tree. And it is absolutely covered in mulberries. It is every year. This tree is amazing. Alright. This is garlic I planted last fall. And this is stuff I got from the store before I really knew anything about garlic at all. And it's doing okay. I don't really expect a whole lot from it, but it's doing alright. And then I have rhubarb, which is it's doing pretty good. Kids have been in here pretty regular too because they like eating rhubarb raw right off the vine or right off the plant, whatever you want to call it. They're after it. They love it. They rip the leaves off and eat the stalks and they tear it up. Let's move on. There's nothing here to see yet, but I planted a bunch of sweet corn in here, 3 rows deep. And there's probably, I'd say 150, 200, something like that will grow here. And I got my peppers. And this one already has one on it. Look at that. Boom. Peppertown. They're growing all over. They're doing good this year. They haven't done very good the past few years. Here's some more. Some of these are jalapenos, some of them are green bell. And then tomato plants out the wazoo. Over 50. Way over 50. I've been trimming them and everything. Pruning. They are doing very, 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 very well this year. Let's move on. Bunch of tomatoes. Got some squashes and some zucchinis growing here. Very healthy. This is all Russian red garlic up here, which I planted last fall also. They're doing pretty good, but they're still kind of weak. And then this is music, which is a more American variety of garlic. And I have 2 rows of this. They are going nuts. They're doing so well. Alright, on to the other garden. Broccolis. Squashes. No, those aren't squashes. Those are pickles. They will be when they're pickled. One of these is snow peas, and that one over there might be snap peas. I'm not real sure which one. We'll find out once it's fully grown. I didn't mark these. Is what it is. Got more cucumbers. This is kale. It's getting ate up a little bit, but we have wild animals. Not including me. Both these little tiny rows right here are planted to onions, which they'll be harvested in August. And then I have radishes, which all this area right here I just planted yesterday. So these are radishes in this row, which obviously there's nothing showing yet, but it's like 23 days and we can harvest them. And they're French breakfast radishes, which are kind of a longer radish and a little bit sweeter. They're not as tart as a normal radish. And then these are Russian red beets in this row, and they have a very high turnaround also. So hopefully in 30 to 50 days, something like that, we'll have some beets to eat too, or can, or whatever. I don't know. I don't even know if I like beets. I've tried them before out the can, and they're kind of meh. But things fresh out the garden are always better. But definitely put in some work this year on trying to do some gardening, and I'll keep you updated as it comes along. Hopefully it does good. Oh wait, one more thing. My son planted this yesterday. These 2 mounds in the middle are mini pumpkins. There's supposed to be little tiny mini pumpkins. And then over here he has mini blue corn on both sides. And then on the back, to keep the rabbits out, he says, he put onions in there. So they're less likely to come in here and eat stuff, which is perfectly fine thinking. Anywho, have a good night. Happy garden.